and Oz. Don't rush indulgence. Take your sweet time. That's DOS.
The stars of today meet the stars of tomorrow. The NBA Draft, a two-day event on ESPN and ABC.
Shanae, I think this is one of the most highly anticipated drafts in decades, right? And it all starts June 23rd. We'll be live from Barclays Center in Brooklyn. It's hard to believe we're already less than a month away from the 2026 NBA draft. You know it. There's going to be plenty of debate, right, between now and then over the next 4 weeks about how the top of the draft is going to look. But as of right now, our draft guru, Jeremy Woo, he is the Wizards taking AJ Debonsa with that top overall pick. But this draft, it's so much deeper, right, than just the top 5. Yesterday, the field of draft prospects, it crystallized a little bit more because the NBA draft withdrawal deadline, it hit at midnight. So projected first-round picks, Christian Anderson, Alan Graves, Koa Pete, they actually all decided to stay in the draft. But several top 40 players, including Andrei Stojakovic, will be returning to college here. And you can see other top prospects in the transfer portal waiting for decisions to be made here. Which brings us to some breaking news, because this is the last year we're going to see the current draft lottery process. Shams Charania is here with more. Shams, I understand that the Board of Governors meeting, it just wrapped up. What exactly did they decide on how the draft lottery is going to look moving forward?
Malika, sources tell me that the NBA's Board of Governors has voted and approved new anti-tanking rule changes, draft reform moving forward, starting in the 2027 NBA draft. The draft lottery will now move from 14 teams to 16 teams. Overall, there will be flattened odds, but most importantly, the bottom 3 teams will be punished with lessened odds moving forward for the #1 overall pick. It's called the 3-2-1 lottery reform because now if you're a bottom 3 team, you will actually be penalized with lesser lottery balls, as in 2, than other potential teams that are slotted 4 through 10. I'm told the vote passed 29-1. The Memphis Grizzlies were the lone team to vote against, and that's because they have the Utah Jazz pick next year that now, because of the new rule, which has a couple stipulations, one being you can't pick #1 in back-to-back years. The second stipulation is you can't have a top 5 pick in 3 consecutive years. So that Jazz pick now will not be able to be a top 5 pick. The Grizzlies are receiving the bad end of an unintended consequence from what is now, for the NBA, a radical response to radical behavior. The NBA felt that there were nearly 8 to 10 teams jockeying for lottery odds down the stretch of this season, and the goal from the relegation zone is right now to try to get those bottom 3 teams to compete to stay out of that area and have more lottery balls, and for teams that are slotted 4 through 10 to not be in that relegation zone because you don't want to be there because you have lessened odds. So trying to incentivize winning, and this comes after months and months of conversations, debate, brainstorm. And Malika, one more point to add. With this vote, the Board of Governors have now given Adam Silver increased disciplinary authority to implement a wide range of action depending on tanking violations moving forward. Fines up to $10 million. He can take draft picks away. He can also have teams forfeit their picks. He can change picks. He can change odds. So this now gives Adam Silver, the NBA commissioner, increased authority.
Wow. All right. So really bringing the hammer down on tanking. That is the idea behind this new policy, Shams, that the Board of Governors just voted to pass. Not unanimously, but voted to pass. Thank you very much for that insight. I do want to bring Brian Windhorst into this discussion. Brian, Shams does such an excellent job at explaining something that I think is very complicated. And yet, sometimes NBA fans talking to folks, their eyes glaze over a little bit at this new tanking policy because it is incredibly complicated. So can you just distill down what is the most important thing to take away from today's vote?
Yeah, it used to be if you were a bottom 3 team and boy, or 4 team, and boy, did teams really try to get in that bottom 4, you had the best chances. And now they're just making it very hard for you to win the top pick. So under the current system, which we just had, if you were in that top 4, you all had a 14% chance of winning that #1 pick, and obviously a really good chance of being in that top 3. Now, if you've got one of the worst records, your chances of getting a top pick have been slashed slashed. You have a much better chance of falling into the 6 through 12 range, and you could fall all the way to 12th, Malika. You could have the worst record in the league and end up with the 12th pick, and there's a reasonable chance you're going to be back there. So they want teams not tanking to get into the bottom three. They want teams fighting to the finish to get out of the top three. And look, they understand that this is a triage situation. This is a bleeding wound. And the reason we know that is part of this is that they're only planning to do this for 3 years. This is a 3-year window. Now, they may extend it, but they've already got what they call a sunset provision in there. The sun's already coming down. We're already past noon. 3 more years, and they may take this away. But I also think something's interesting is that with the lottery will no longer be numbers anymore. It will literally be balls with the team's logo on them. And I suspect that the NBA will do it live. Yeah. That they will watch, and all the fans will see the balls come out with the team. It won't be an hour later or whatever, which breaks my heart because I love that intrigue. But those will be the differences that we will see coming out.
But you're right. Having this in place for 3 years is the NBA saying this is an acute problem. We need to deal with it now. We know that this may be a slight overreaction, but that is how egregious we see these tanking violations as. All right, we'll have more on that as we march towards the NBA draft. But Shanae, we got some WNBA action to get to. So let's go coast to coast, starting with Minnesota. Natasha Howard, Courtney Williams, Olivia Miles gave Atlanta nightmares. This is how it went down at Target Center, right?
Oh, snap.
In the second quarter here, Angel Reese collects the offensive rebound, kicks it out to Jordan Canada for three.
JC, former teammate of mine, when she's knocking down those shots, it's a good look. And hello, face.
Reese had
never declined.
10, 8, and 5. Olivia Miles.
Leader right here for Rookie of the Year. She's averaging 15 points per game and also leading rookies in assists.
And then Miles once again.
Oh, my God. Look at that
Tasha
dime.
Howard.
I would love to play with Olivia.
A little pick and roll there.
As a post player?
So watch this. Miles gets to the bucket again for 2, but did you see this celebration afterwards? She goes a little too small. This is what Natasha Howard had to say about Miles' celebration.
You don't really see a lot of rookies coming in being like her, being herself, being comfortable who she is. But she kind of gave me like a little Wayland back then when they was playing. So I love it. But we got her back though.
The Vets got her back.
Confident.
Miles had 16 points, 8 rebounds.
Electric.
The Lynx get the win in this one. And as you can see here, early on, Olivia Miles is doing a little bit of everything here, joining a short list of players to average 15, 5 boards, 5 assists through 7 games.
Short list, great company.
Exactly. Look at that. Caitlin Clark, Sabrina Ionescu, Candace Parker, the only players in league history to do it. And don't look now, but the Lynx are a WNBA best 5 and 2.
That is a surprise, knowing that Napisa Collier is not playing.
Let's get to the Liberty. Speaking of not playing, no Satu Sabali, no Sabrina Ionescu, but it was raining threes. Hallelujah.
The French fry. She be frying people. Marie Johannes.
A little no-look pass there to Leonie Febish.
Oh, my gosh. She has the most razzle-dazzle passes.
And then we started, this was her just getting started, though, Shanae.
Oh, man, the one-legged shots, quickest release, highest arc. Marine is just a delight to watch play basketball.
She had a career-high 7 made threes in this game, but New York did trail by 1 at halftime. So let's go ahead to the third quarter here. Liberty go on a 6-0 run.
There's my girl, JJ.
Jean-Claude
JJ, inside-out game. Love it.
Drains the jumper, so now it's an 8-0 run. Jones again. Why not take a 3?
Guard her back. She loves shooting threes.
She had 17 points in this one. And then Brianna Stewart. Little jumper. What did I say? And one, son.
And one, hun.
I like that. 11 points for Stewie. And then, now on a 21-0 run, New York went on to win this one 84-74 in this one. And we thought that they would be sitting pretty for the start of this season. But you know what? That's why we play the games. Hey, the W back on ABC on Saturday, June 6th. We got a doubleheader for you. Seattle visiting Minnesota at 1 o'clock Eastern. Golden State taking on Las Vegas at 3. Chinea Gumake will be working all day long. WNBA Countdown. Get you started. That's at 12:30 Eastern. And you can watch both games streaming on the ESPN app as well. Wemby, though, I think it's fair to say he had one of the toughest games of the postseason in Game 5. How the Spurs season now, it hinges on how he responds. And before the Garden, before winning conference finals MVP, a connection between Jalen Brunson and Kobe Bryant and how it's coming full circle. Plus, we got some iconic daggers, unforgettable performances. Game 6 Clay.
We talk about 6 appeal? Oh, spicy. Spicy.